Hello, welcome back to the reading vlog. So this month of June, I read about 14 books and counting. I'm trying to finish one more book, but I'm gonna tell you what I read and what I think about it. The first book I read in June was on my road trip. I read Binding 13, and I've heard so much about the series that I knew I had to read it. I don't think it's really a YA book, and it doesn't seem fully like a romance book in my opinion. It covers a lot of heavy topics. Shannon is her name. She gets bullied at her school a lot. Family is just kind of falling apart a little bit. And her dad is abusive, and it covers all the topics about that. So she changes schools to go to this like more expensive private school, and she meets a boy there, Johnny. He just feels this protectiveness over her, and that's what happens to them. It wasn't really my style of book. There's a lot of heavy language in the book, and I just would be cautious to recommend it to people. Next books I read were the To All the Boys I Loved Before series, and I did make another video talking about this, of what I read on vacation, but I loved these books so much. They were like probably a 5-star series for me. I just love these, plus these books are so cute. But it follows this girl, Lara Jean. She writes letters to every boy she loves to sort of try to let go of them. It's usually boys that she can't love or know that she won't end up with. One day her letters disappear and she finds out that they were sent. It's just such a fun and cute story, and it was just perfect. The next book I read was Every Exquisite Thing by Laura Steven. This book is about girl who is the daughter of a famous model. She goes to this acting school because she wants to become an actress. It's sort of fantasy-ish. There are magical elements, but it's not in a fantasy world. So basically what happens is the main character, she lands a lead role kind of by the skin of her teeth. The girls who get the main role, they're given this chance to be painted in this hall with all these women, and basically you're captured as you are in that moment. It was really confusing at times, honestly, and I kind of just didn't know what I was reading. It was very addictive. I feel like I finished it pretty fast. It was just kind of crazy, honestly, like a little bit like out there. Like, it's definitely one of the stranger books I've read. Next book I read is Love and Olives. I also made a video about this because this is also my vacation video. I loved this book. It took me a long time to get into it because it's very long. Part of the Love and Gelato series, which I really loved this series. But it's about a girl, Olive. Her dad, he left her when she was 8 years old. He is an Atlantis hunter, and he moved to the city in Greece. He thinks like Atlantis is real, and that the city he lives in is where Atlantis is, and he wants to find it. And he calls her out of the blue, like after never hearing from him, and ask her to help him. She does not want to go, but her mom forces her to. It's a really crazy journey. There are a lot of twists, and it doesn't really end how I thought it would, but I really enjoyed it and thought it was super fun, especially for a vacation read. The scenery is beautiful. All the detail is amazing, and you will learn so much about Greece, about Atlantis, because all the research that the author has done is accurate and incredible. Next book I read is The Summer of Second Chances by K.L. Walter. I loved this book. First of all, it is so freaking cute, and I love every book by K.L. Walter. If you have watched my videos, you know that I love all her books. They're the perfect YA books, and they always hit every time. There's not a single one that I don't like. This is about Olivia. Her stepmother's family is having this family reunion. She does not want to go at all because her grandmother is sick. She has dementia. She's very close to her grandmother, and it just kind of navigates how she feels going through the process with her grandma. I think it's more, coming of age, I guess, and more of like not as heavy in romance when it shows more of a character's personal journey than just romance. What I love about these books is there's always like different characters from her previous books like tied in, and it's so fun because I love to catch up with other characters, see how they're doing, and it gives updates about a lot of the characters from previous books. I just love that because it makes me so happy to know that they're doing okay even though they're fake. It just makes me so happy. Next we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is the deluxe edition. I love this brand. I've heard so many things about this book, and I'm a person who loves mystery books. I'm a big mystery book person. After like hearing everyone's like rave reviews and how popular this book was, I knew I had to read it. And it really did meet my expectations. I would probably rate it a 4.5 star. It was just very gripping, exciting. I loved the writing style. It felt so clear and concise, and I loved Pippa, the main character's like personality and how she acted. I thought she was just so fun. I really did look at the subplot of romance in this. It was perfect, and yeah, I just really love this book. I think it seems realistic, really good. I really think you should read it. The next book is Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is the only Emily Henry book that I haven't read, so now I've read all her books that are out. I just love her writing style. She's so good at giving these tiny details and descriptions that I would never think about, like writing personally, and it's just works. It works so well. This is about Harriet and Wynne. Harriet's a girl. One of her best friends from college has this house. They get one last summer in the house before it gets sold. Harriet and her fiance Wynne broke off their engagement like before this trip happened, and she didn't tell any of her friends because she was scared what would happen. She didn't want to lose her friendships. And this just is very nostalgic and very realistic. I thought all the characters were very well developed and they had flaws, but they also are just really lovable, and I feel like I sympathize with them a lot. And it did make me cry. For like the last 30 pages, I was like just crying, just because there's some of the stuff in the book that I really related to, especially just like the fear of friendships changing or ending. It was really, really good. Now we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I have always wanted to read Ali Hazelwood book, but I haven't yet because I feel like some of her adult books are just not my cup of tea. This is a YA book, so I really wanted to read this one, and it was extremely fascinating. It really dove into a lot about chess. It seemed like really fun and made me want to play chess, even though I am terrible at chess. The main girl, Mallory, she grew up playing chess with her father, and she loved it. She was obsessed with chess. When her dad left, he took the love of chess with him, and Mallory has always carried this guilt of feeling like her dad left because of her. She's avoided chess ever since because she just associates chess with him and all those terrible feelings. This is Mallory and Mrs. Nolan, the love interest, and they're like rivals. It's the perfect rivals to lovers for me. I don't like if they're like too rivalry, like if the guy is like mean, I guess, or if they're just too competitive. But it felt very, I don't know, like they both characters were really sweet and like liked each other from the beginning, it seemed like, at least as friends, you know, and obviously more. But it was just so sweet, and I loved all the side characters. I really loved the writing style. It made me laugh, it made me want to cry, and it was just perfect. Okay, the next book that I have is Spectacular. Here we go. I love this book. It's by Stephanie Garber, and it's after the Caraval series. It's a novella. It's about 240 pages. I listened to the audiobook of it, and it was so amazing. I loved every second of it. The way Stephanie Garber uses descriptions and imagery like so vividly is amazing. It makes the book come alive, and I really wish I saved this book to read during the holidays, pretty much like Christmas, I would say. But it was so cute, and it reminded me of like what holidays felt like as a kid, like Santa and all the amazing exciting parts, and it was just so fun to read. I really wish I picked a different day to read this though, because it was 98 degrees outside and sunny and humid, and it would have hit so hard if it was like a winter day like in December. It would have been perfect. But yeah, besides for that, it was amazing, and I loved being back in the Caraval world. The next book is another mystery book. It's called The Escape Game. I also read it on Kindle. Basically, the whole premise is there's this escape room game show where they have contestants come on and are on teams, and they solve these escape rooms. The ones who do it fastest win, and it's like elimination process. One season, a girl died on the show, and her sister was framed for a murder who was also on the show at the same time as her. The story picks up after that season ended, and Sierra is the sister of Alicia who died, and she comes back on to try and win. She and her sister were not close. She still loved her sister, and she wants to know what happened to her and who killed her, because the case was never solved. All people on the same team, so there's 4 kids it follows. I loved how it showed everyone's POV. I thought it made it very engaging and a lot more fun to just understand more people's stories. I did find that a lot of the times during the actual escape rooms, it was a little boring. I was like, kind of just skip through some stuff. But I think it was a 3-star book. It was good, and I liked the mystery, except I did kind of guess it, which is fun with mystery books when you don't guess it, but I still really enjoyed it. The next book I read was The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Here we go. 5 stars. Loved every single thing about this book. I have been meaning to pick up a Catherine Center book for a while now, and I am so glad I read this book because it was perfect. Just the perfect book. The Bodyguard is about a girl who is a bodyguard, and I thought that was just really interesting. It dives into the job. She's like, you know, for very important people, like rich people, famous people. She works for a company. Where it leads off is the main character's mother has just passed away. Her mother wasn't there for her a lot as a child. It's still obviously really sad. Her boyfriend, Robbie, breaks up with her. All she wants to do is just get away. So she gets sent on this job for this super famous guy. For a while he's been off the grid, like disappeared from the face of the earth pretty much. But he really needs security because he's coming back home to be with his mother, because his mother is also dealing with her health issues. The bodyguard has to go and pretend to fake date him so the family doesn't know that she's a bodyguard, and she has to stay with him at his parents' farm, and it's just so amazingly cute. It was so funny, and it made me cry, and it was just beautiful. I love Catherine Center's writing, and I cannot wait to read more of her books. Ending on a little bit of a bad note, but next we have First and Forever by Lynn Painter. I rated this book about 1.25 stars, and I was really disappointed. I started this book thinking that it was just going to be another cute YA book like all her others. I've never been a huge fan of Lynn Painter. I feel like sometimes the characters lack depth, especially her more recent ones. This story just did not cut it for me. It just didn't feel like a Lynn Painter book. All the magic was just missing. This was still a no spice book, and it was about a girl named Duffy. She has 3 brothers and her father. They all are very big fans of this one football team. Connor is the love interest, and he's like one of the best players on the team. Duffy and him fake date, which of course they fake date. Of course, have to fake date. They fake date for the media to get positive attention because Duffy had a lot of negative attention, and Connor thinks that if he fakes date Duffy, then his job will be saved. The team is bad and they might just fire everyone and restart, like a reboot. It was just really disappointing, and I just want to see a Lynn Painter book without fake dating. The only one is The Do-Over, which is my favorite. I don't mind the fake dating trope, but it just gets old, and I feel like it's done the same way every single time in her books. Her next book, Trustfall, which I will read it, but I just really hope it doesn't have fake dating, honestly. I'm really sick of it. Okay, that was all the books I've read in June. I cannot wait for more summer reading in July. Thank you so much for watching.